Greetings, greetings, greetings. Greetings, love magnets. Greetings, love warriors. Greetings, love icons. How is everyone this evening? Thank y'all so much for joining. Give me a big hello so I can see who all is in the chat tonight. Y'all, we have such a juicy topic. Give me a second to get adjusted here. We have such a juicy topic tonight. Oh my gosh, ladies, you know what to do. Take that bra off. Take that bra off. Come on, you know what to do. Unhook, snatch, and toss. Get comfortable. Guys, y'all do what y'all do. Unbutton, relax. We have an amazing topic for tonight. Our topic tonight is relationship fatigue or karmic curse. Are you really suffering from relationship fatigue or is it a karmic curse? Let's find out what the difference is, right? Before we get into that, I do want to introduce myself. I am Pangea Northstar. I am a Reiki healer. I am an empath. I am an energy healer. I use guided visualizations, tarot and oracle card readings, Reiki, compassion key, and I have a couple of classes that I've written. Greetings, Shanae. I have a couple different classes that I teach periodically, and I use all of these tools to help people learn to attract love energy. Love energy is for the purposes of healing, for the purposes of forgiveness, for the purposes of attracting abundance, and really anything in life that you truly desire. You want to tap into that love energy in order to become more magnetic, okay? So that is the focus of everything that I share. It's always going to come back to increasing your magnetism. I do teach based on the laws of attraction, right? So the law of attraction states that we are always attracting frequencies that match our frequency, right? So whatever is appearing in your reality, somewhere in your auric field, in your aura, right? In your biomagnetic field, somewhere there is a match, okay? Otherwise, these things would not be appearing in your reality, okay? So that is what we work on here, is becoming aware and intentional about the vibrations in our auric field, right? Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, we're gonna start our conversation, which is gonna wrap back around to those matching frequencies, right? So again, our topic or title tonight is relationship fatigue or karmic curse. What are you really suffering from, if you are suffering? Okay, so somebody in the chat is asking about the picture in my background. I really don't know. It is something someone brought from Africa for me. So I don't know. I'm sorry. But thank you for noticing. And thank you, Reno, for that beautiful comment as well. You guys, we're talking about relationship fatigue versus karmic curses. You guys, many people are suffering from relationship fatigue. Okay, so let's talk about what relationship fatigue is, because many people who are suffering from relationship fatigue do not see it as that and do not really recognize what's going on. Okay. So, relationship fatigue is a period of time when you are simply exhausted by the patterns that play out in your current relationship or across many of your relationships. Okay. This can be extremely exhausting and make you feel that the relationship you're in or the relationships in general are just not for you. Okay. And if you see me looking down, I'm just peeking at my notes that I have here. I always try to present this information in an organized manner for you guys. Okay. So for a few people, it really could be that, relationships just aren't for them, right? For very few people, it could be that, hey, I'm just, relationships are not for them, right? I'm just going to say that, even though I truly believe that we're all really put here for each other and to do this journey together, okay? But for some, it's just that, hey, relationships are not for me. But large scale, for the majority of people, it isn't that relationships aren't for you, it's the way you are doing relationships, right? That is the real issue. Many of us are adapting ways of relationships that are not our own. We're just kind of going with the flow and going with what the society that we live in tells us is the way to do relationships, right? So I am speaking of relationships in terms of romantic relationships, but also in terms of family relationships and friendships as well. Okay. We got to think about this because many of us have these dysfunctional patterns in friendships as well as family relationships, right? And if you grew up in a home where the family relationships are very dysfunctional, chances are very high that you're also going to have friendships and romantic relationships that are also dysfunctional because of the patterns that we learn at home growing up about how to relate to people, right? You learn how to relate at home first, right? So, and you learn, either to show up for people or that people are supposed to show up for you or don't show up for you or won't show up for you. You learn all of these things with your family of origin first, right? So that carries into the rest of our lives. So many of us are just trying to really like copy and paste something in terms of relationship or your love style that is actually quite individual. Greetings, Blue Lotus. Greetings to all the rest of us that are joining us. Greetings from those who are joining us from Turkey. Greetings. Good evening. Yes. Hello. Hi. So many of us are trying to copy and paste a love style, and your love style is actually quite individual, right? And I'm speaking in terms of many of us are trying to do what we saw someone else do or what society told us was right, something you learned on TV, that this is how you're supposed to behave in a relationship, and that is really not, maybe it's really not you. Okay. I've spoken to so many people recently that are actually, exploring things other than monogamous dating relationships, monogamous romantic relationships, and are finding that that is a better love style for them, right? There are many different ways to do love. There are many different ways to do romantic love or friendship love, right? Greetings, Zena Electra. So, you guys, because when you are trying to copy and paste something that's just really not you, and you're really in need of customizations and healing in the areas of relationships that you're unaware of because you're deeply unaware of your own self, this becomes exhausting. It becomes exhausting, okay? But until you become more deeply aware of yourself, it is really impossible to recognize what is happening. It makes you feel like there's something wrong with you because you're trying to do what everyone else is doing, but it's not working for you. Okay? So the answer in that case is to become more deeply aware of you, of your own self, and what really seems to work for you. For example, one example that I use, and I'm trying to think of examples that are pretty far out of the norm, so that everyone that's closer to the norm can can relate, okay, and try to find something that's adaptable for them, okay. So when I say I'm talking about people who are exploring with non-monogamy, perhaps you are a person that really enjoys time alone and does not, and maybe you do not desire or require the daily closeness that you would experience in a one-on-one relationship or marriage with someone. You may say, I don't desire to ever like really live with somebody, right? So you may say, for me, I want, to date more than one person, or just not get into a situation that requires living with someone. You may say, okay, I want to try polyamory and be solo poly so that I can kind of move, autonomously and move how I want to move and still enjoy time to myself. That may be an option that you would consider, okay? If you are a person that really enjoys living life the way you want to live life and not necessarily having to like check in with somebody, if like the traditional style of coupling would not work for you, okay? That is just one example of a customization that someone may choose in terms of relationship, okay? So figuring out what type of customizations you need in relationships can help you to get out of relationship fatigue or avoid relationship fatigue, okay? Not being afraid to challenge social norms, okay? Because if you try to force yourself, you try to force your square peg into a round hole over and over again, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, and you're going to be very frustrated, okay? So that's just one example. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on for the sake of time, okay? So now, another thing that could be happening, relationship fatigue. How does this look? How does this look? It looks like exhaustion due to relationships not working out over and over and over again. And it's a period of time where you're just like, I just can't do anymore. I'm tired. I need some time for restoration for myself. If you've ever been there, if you think you've ever been there, give me some hearts in the chat. Okay, give me some hearts in the chat. If you've ever just felt like so frustrated, you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't even want to date for a little while. I just want to chill out. I just want some time to myself. I'm going to spend some time focusing on me. Okay, spending some time focusing on you. Okay, now, how do you know if you are really suffering from relationship fatigue, or if you just legitimately need time to yourself or want to take time for your personal growth? Or you're just like, hey, I have some legitimate reasons that I do not want to be in a relationship right now. Or that maybe I just don't want to have anything serious, right? How do you know the difference? If you want to know how to know the difference, give me some hearts in the chat. So there are some very significant ways that you can tell the difference, okay? So the difference in relationship fatigue and really just saying, you know what, I really am just going to take a time out right now. I really am going to take some time to evaluate self and evaluate what I want. Here's the difference. And relationship fatigue is I'm using that as a term that represents an unhealthy place to be versus taking a healthy break, okay? Or having a legitimate reason for not wanting to pursue connection with other people, okay? Because we really are here to connect with others and to experience life together, to experience this earth plane together, right? So a person with relationship fatigue says, I do not want to connect with anyone right now. I'm not interested in dating or pursuing love right now, or pursuing any new friendships or any connections with deepening any connections with other humans right now. A person who has relationship fatigue has some resentment along with those statements. Okay, resentment, anger, disappointment, right? And when you say those statements to yourself that I just don't want to connect with anybody, if you say that and pay attention to where you feel that in your body, you can tell, okay, yeah, I'm feeling some resentment. I'm feeling some pain from my last breakup. I'm feeling some fear that I'm going to get hurt again. I'm feeling frustration with the group of people that, I'm desirous of having a relationship with. You can feel that in your body. There may be a pit in your stomach, right? That pit that you get in your stomach, this fear, that would be in your solar plexus chakra, okay? That's the area above your navel, but below the sternum. That is your solar plexus chakra, okay? You may feel a lump in your throat when you say that, like you're maybe choking back some tears or some harsh words, right? It can demonstrate itself as a lump in your throat, a throat chakra blockage, right? You may find yourself unable to really even imagine what type of connection, what type of relationship or friendship would add more to your life, would add more joy or peace to your life. If you're like, I can't even imagine. I've never even seen anything like what I want. That would represent a third eye chakra blockage, because your third eye is not just about intuition, it is about imagination, right? And being able to see into the quantum, being able to see a different possibility, right? A higher timeline for yourself, right? So that would represent a third eye chakra blockage, okay? So, but if you are able to say that, if you say, I'm just not desirous of being in a relationship right now, and you feel, you stop to notice, how does it feel in your body? And it doesn't feel like anything, or you feel warmth and you feel good feelings, like, yeah, that feels like the right choice for me right now. If all you feel is good feelings, or you feel nothing, then that is a sign that, hey, this is not relationship fatigue. This is just, it's time for me to rest. It's time for me to explore me, right? And we'll talk more a little later about how to do that, what to do in that resting period where you're just exploring you, especially if you are having relationship fatigue. And also if you're not having relationship fatigue, okay? But there's something I'm going to share with you in a bit that will address, how to conduct yourself, what to do in this resting period where you're not feeling like connecting with anyone, okay? If this resonates with you, if this makes sense, that yes, I can make this statement, I don't want to connect with anyone, and just see where I feel that in my body, give me some hearts in the chat if that makes sense to you, okay? Give me some hearts. Okay, now, there's a third option. Number one was relationship fatigue. Number two was, it's just time for a healthy break. I'm just not desirous of connecting with anyone right now. It's just not that time. I've got something else going on. It doesn't seem like the right time for me, right? But there is a third option. Okay, there's a third thing that could be happening here, okay? When you are not desirous of connecting with anyone, okay? Now, and this one would more so follow suit, maybe along with relationship fatigue, okay? Many of us are suffering from a curse that you have put on yourself in the past when you spoke something out loud out of pure frustration during your last bout of relationship fatigue, right? Your last bout of frustration was trying to connect with others, okay? Or failed attempts at a relationship, okay? I'm going to say that again. Many of us are suffering from a curse you put on yourself by something that you spoke out loud in your last bout of relationship fatigue or disappointment, frustration, what have you, okay, from a failed attempt at connection, okay? Now, this is what I'm talking about when I say, is it relationship fatigue or is it a karmic curse, okay? Because a karmic curse can be due to something that happened in this lifetime, and we're talking about a past version of yourself that was in this incarnation, right? Or it could also be from a past incarnation, okay? A karmic curse can be either from a past incarnation, another incarnation of your soul, right? Or it could be from something you experienced in this incarnation of your soul. You were a different person back then. In anger and frustration, you said something terrible out loud, like, I'll never give like that again. I'll never trust like that again. I'll never be vulnerable like that again, right? I'll never try that hard again. I'll never give that much of myself again. If this sounds familiar to you guys, give me some hearts in the chat. If you have ever said these type of things or heard somebody say these things, I'll never open my heart like that again. I'll never be stupid for somebody like that again. These terrible things that we say with such passion, with such vitriol, right? At a moment of frustration, anger, hurt, shame, embarrassment about a relationship gone wrong, okay? Yes, Celeste, yes, okay? So this is an example of how people curse themselves, okay? You can curse yourself. The most damning curse is the curse you put on yourself, okay? When we think of curses, most of the time we're thinking of somebody, Color Purple style, like, do you do right by me, right? It's not always like that. It's not always like Celie in The Color Purple, right? Some of the worst curses are the curses that we put on ourselves unaware, okay? Think about it. Think about this. Most of us have heard a curse word, people saying, using the word curse word and swear words interchangeably. Like somebody might say, don't use curse words, or why are you using those curse words? Or someone may say, don't use swear words. Why are you using swear words, right? So we say curses and swears. We use those words, curse and swear, interchangeably. They mean the same thing. Ask yourself why. When you swear something, you say, I swear, you're taking a vow, right? The word swear has a double meaning. It can mean someone cursing, as in saying bad words, using foul language. But swear also means, I swear, right? I promise. I'm taking a vow, right? So when you take a vow, you swear that you're never going to give your heart the same way again. You are cursing yourself. you are placing a curse on your life. When you say things with such high emotion, right? Emotion is energy. The energy in our energy field, in our auric field, is emanating from our emotions. Our energy and our emotions are one and the same. Okay? So energy is neither created nor destroyed. We know this, right? So when you say something awful, like I'm never gonna, love anybody again, and you say it with such vitriol, such passion, such high emotion, just because you met somebody new that you now like, and now you met someone cute, next week or next month or next year, that energy that you put into your own atmosphere, your auric field, your aura, your biomagnetic field is your own personal atmosphere, right? That you take with you everywhere you go. It is you, right? Because you are energy. You are energy. Living in a flesh body. That the energy of that swear, that promise you made, that curse, it doesn't just go away. It isn't destroyed by you now liking someone new. It's still there. It's still here. It's still with you. Right? So try as you may, try as you might to start over, to try to do something new, the energy of that curse is still with you. So when you told yourself you weren't going to ever give yourself that way again, you weren't going to give your heart, you weren't going to trust, you weren't going to, whatever it is, you weren't going to give, you will find it very difficult to trust again. And you may even find yourself sabotaging yourself so that it's impossible to trust or give like that again. And you may do that by choosing people that are not trustworthy, right? Or even if you choose someone that is trustworthy, you still will find yourself struggling to truly trust, to truly give again. And it's like if you give your trust and you find yourself taking it right back, like, oh, you're just so fretful. You cannot do it consistently. And it will be that will prevent your relationship from being successful. Why? Because the energy of your words, that curse, that karmic curse that you place on yourself, either in this incarnation or in another incarnation, yes, it can follow you through lifetimes. If that emotion, that energy was strong enough, was powerful enough, I think most of us have at some point in our life been in a situation where we said something with such strong emotion. When you said it, you meant it with every fiber of your being. If you've ever been there, give me some hearts in the chat. Give me some thumbs up in the chat. If you've ever been there, that you said something and you meant it with every ounce of your being. Like, I will not ever do this right here again, right? And I'm sure there was a good reason. There was probably a good reason. However, as you grow, as you expand, right? As your soul unfolds, circumstances change. And in order for you to ground yourself in meaningful connections, you must take that risk of trusting again, of giving again, of being vulnerable again at some point in your life. You have to, in order to build strong connections. Okay? So, this is what we are talking about when we say a karmic curse. Okay? You swore you would never do, give, receive, love, trust. Um, it could even, now this goes deep. This could even go to earning money. Okay? It's not just relationships. There are some of us who are unable to hold on to money or unable to earn over a certain amount because in a past lifetime you swore that you would never be rich again, that you would never be greedy, or that you would never misuse money again. That saying or the thought, the idea that money is the root of all evil has been around for a long time. People say that it's, incorrect. But people say that, right? So if you had an experience in another lifetime where something bad happened and you believed it was because of your use of your money or your influence or your power, you may have sworn to yourself, I'll never utilize money that way. There are people you hear that walk away from everything that they own. Perhaps they lost their loved ones behind something that had to do with their money, something that had to do with their success. Exactly, Celeste is saying money is a frequency and people can be evil. That's right, people can be evil, but money is not evil. Money is an energy, and money deeply desires to be in the hands of those who will use it to help raise the vibration of the planet. So if that's you, money's looking for you. Money wants to be in your hands. Try thinking of money that way, right? Try connecting with money as an energy and welcoming money on an energetic level. But many of us struggle with poverty or struggle with the ability to earn or to hold on to money because of something in the past, right? Where we felt like something bad happened due to money. Okay. All right. So if you have some negative energetic associations with money or love or whatever the case may be, you may have a fear of being seen, a fear of, trying too hard. Perhaps you experienced some huge disappointment where you put all of your effort into something and then it failed, right? Maybe took some risk. You invested in something and lost everything. And inside yourself, you said, never again, right? You may have sworn inside of yourself or spoken it out loud. Both carry a lot of weight. Okay? So, if this resonates with you, that, yeah, I think I'm feeling somewhere inside of me, yeah, perhaps I made a promise, I made a vow that I would not allow myself to have money or love or friendships, or not allow yourself to care for someone very deeply, right? I did a clearing with a client one time. I'm going to give you an example before we move on. I did a clearing with a client who realized that in a past life, she had tried to save someone that she loved, and her interference in the situation actually caused that person to be killed. So she then vowed to herself that she would never love that deeply again, because she was associating her love with the reason that the person was killed, okay, with the reason that people died, okay. This has come up many times in clearings, but this is just one example, okay, just one example. And yes, you can tap into your past lives when you're in a trance-like state, okay, and there are different ways to get there, okay. Zena is a good person. Zena is in the chat. Zena is a good person to speak to that, because she does past life regressions for people, okay. Now, if this resonates with you, that you feel, oh my gosh, I feel like something happened in a past life, or I'm realizing, yes, at some point in this incarnation, I did swear to myself that I would never try that hard or love like that or open myself or give or whatever again, then I want you to make a new vow to yourself, okay? Yes, you can correct this, okay? This is the type of thing that when it comes to energetic blockages, you can either clear them or transmute them, okay? So what I'm about to discuss with you is an example of transmutation, transmuting energy. Transmuting energy is when you take energy that has previously been negative and bad for you and had negative results for you, but you intentionally use that energy for something good, okay? You make a conscious decision that you're going to change this into something good, okay? This is what people refer to as alchemy as well, okay? So I want you to think of the determination with which you said that to yourself. I'll never blah, blah, blah again, okay? Think of that, all right? This is something you want to do when you're in a quiet space to yourself, when you're in meditation. Meditation does not always mean sitting there with a blank mind, which for most people is difficult to do, right? Meditation can also be visualization. When people tell me, hey, I don't meditate, I can't meditate because I can't clear my mind, I can't stop my thoughts, I say, use your thoughts, okay? So use your mind to revisit the energy of that vow you made to yourself. Even if you're not absolutely sure what happened to cause that, whether it's because you're not sure because it was a past lifetime that you haven't tapped into yet, or if you're not sure because it's just something that you think probably happened years ago in this incarnation, and this is like, which relationship was it? All right. But if you can feel that energy in your energy field, I want you to think of that strong emotion that caused you to make that vow, right? And I want you to honor the pain of that past version of yourself by acknowledging that that's real. First of all, acknowledging that that pain was real, showing yourself compassion for that, I'm really sorry that this happened to you. If you're aware that it's something that you did where you placed yourself in a vulnerable position, you compromised yourself in some way, apologize to yourself. Apologize to that past version of yourself. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but give full acknowledgement for how that felt, okay? So you're going to honor that past pain with acknowledgement, as well as by trusting the person that you are today, the version of you that you are today, that you really do want to experience something different. And I want you to begin to open yourself to experiencing something different and create a new experience for yourself by doing this. I want you to begin intentionally creating internal love experiences like the love experiences you desire to show up for yourself externally in your everyday life. Okay? I want you to create the experiences for yourself that you desire to have with a romantic partner, a friend, a family member. Okay? Begin, if you want someone that's going to pamper you, begin to pamper yourself. If you want someone that's going to give you their time and their attention, give yourself your time and your attention. Schedule time that is just for you to do whatever it is you want to do something pleasant, right? Or even if it's, hey, I'm going to spend time journaling and working on my spiritual journey. Create time for you. Block it off in your calendar. And when someone asks you, hey, can you want to do XYZ at this time? Your answer is no, because I have plans at that time. This is time that is non-negotiable, right? This is part of making yourself a priority. So if you want someone in your life that's going to make you a priority, you make you a priority. Okay? You make you a priority. If you desire to receive flowers and gifts, you buy you some flowers and gifts. Do that for yourself. If you desire to be taken out, take yourself out. If you desire to get foot rubs, treat yourself to a foot rub. Go get a foot massage. Treat yourself to that. Okay? I want you to begin to give yourself these new experiences. Why are we doing that? It's very important. This is going to wrap back around to what we said in the very beginning. We are always attracting frequencies that match our own, right? So as you begin to create these internal experiences of love, a few things happen. Number one is that you are raising your vibration. You are raising your vibration, okay? So you're changing the vibration that you used to have that says, oh, I just don't believe that's ever going to happen for me, or I wish I want that to happen for me. You're changing your vibration to, this is happening for me because I am worth it. Because I am worthy of it. This is happening for me now. That is what your vibration, the new signal that you are sending out. Okay, so like we talked about, dedicating time that's just for you, committing to time for you, right? So now your new vibration says, you're sending out a signal that says, I am worthy of commitment, right? Which is a really good one to do. If you want to experience a relationship, a committed relationship, commit to yourself. Commit to yourself. And the new signal you are sending out says, I am worthy of commitment. So what will begin to appear in your reality is partners, potential partners, who are ready for a commitment and are willing to make a commitment. Okay? So if you are having problems attracting someone that wants a commitment, I guarantee you are not truly committing to yourself. It just can't be. Okay? So I want you all to try this. Okay, I want you all to try this. Even if you think, surely I have a karmic curse. Okay, you can transmute that. You can transmute that curse, that energy of that curse, by just as deeply and with every fiber of your being as, whatever that promise was. You said, oh, I'll never do this, I'll never love, I'll never. As strongly as you said that, that's how strongly you need to feel about creating this new vibration for yourself. That is just how much you need to mean it as you say to yourself, I am ready for this new experience. I am now creating new internal love experiences for myself. That's how committed you need to be to that. And that's how much you need to speak it out loud in order to transmute that energy. Okay? You're just balancing out the energy of those old words that were spoken, the old thoughts that you were thinking. Okay? So if this hit, if this makes sense to y'all, give me some hearts in the chat. If you have questions, now is an excellent time for questions. Okay, I will take questions. I will answer questions if anybody has questions. All right. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share this video, especially if someone came up in your spirit as you were watching this. Don't forget to share. Okay, and we are here every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, which is 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for all the hearts in the chat. Y'all, I also want you to know, and yes, I said y'all, I'm from Tennessee. We say y'all. So y'all, I do have 2 iterations of a new class, Mastering Your Magnet, Attract the Life and the Love that you desire. Master Your Magnet is a class that's coming up soon. I will be teaching it twice live in September. And I want you to stay tuned to my channel. As soon as I have the link, the registration link available, the registration will be through Eventbrite. So look for the registration in Eventbrite. But as soon as I have the link for Master Your Magnet, I will attach it to this video and to upcoming videos between now and the time that we are teaching the class. And let's see if I have the right calendar here to share. I believe it is the 7th and the 14th, or either the 14th and the 21st. One of those two. But I will be attaching the link soon. It is a 3-hour online class in which we will be teaching very specifically how to master your magnetism. How to begin to intentionally create the things that you want to see appear in your reality. Okay. And this works for the type of partners that you want to attract, the type of friends you want to attract, the type of family relationships. Even if you have had deep issues in your family relationships for years, you can attract a new version of people that are already in your life by mastering your own energy, by changing the energy that you are emitting for yourself. Okay? So I want you guys to stay tapped in, stay tuned in with everything that I'm doing. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. You can also follow me on Instagram at Pangea Northstar. And I do not see any questions coming through, so I'm going to allow you guys to live your life and have a wonderful night. And thank you guys so much for yeah, I see somebody said this is a rewatch for sure. Absolutely. I thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. And I thank you so much for all the encouragement in the chat. Peace and love to all. Good night.